Starting off at number 10, swan population. Queen Elizabeth enjoyed all manners of historic perks thanks to her position as monarch. One of the most unusual is that she has the right to own any swan swimming in open waters throughout the United Kingdom. I could go to Wales or any part of England or Scotland and say that swan belongs to Her Majesty and just take it, says David Barber, who holds the ancient title of Royal Swan Marker. While many subsequent British monarchs used their right to cook and eat the birds at extravagant royal feasts, the Queen only flexed it to perform an annual census of the swan population on the River Thames through an ancient process called swan upping that dates back to the 12th century. As noted by Cosmopolitan, Queen Elizabeth II owned the unclaimed swans that lived on the stretches of River Thames, and every year when they held the swan upping, wherein she was told how many swans were under her possession through a 5-day ceremony. Number 9, jewelry collection. Throughout her reign, the Queen earned a reputation not only for devotion to the monarchy and her people, but also as one of the best dressed women of her time. None of the Queen's looks were complete without her jewelry, from gems passed down from queen to queen through the centuries to recently acquired jewels. In the daytime, she was almost never seen without a pearl necklace, glittering brooch, and pearl earrings. For formal evening events, a necklace or tiara were pulled out from the vault. Despite having access to a vast number of jewels, the Queen viewed them casually as being part of her uniform. Her sister, Princess Margaret, once marveled that Her Majesty was the only woman she knew who could put on her own tiara while walking down the stairs to attend an event. One of the most important jewels in the royal collection, the Queen's diamond diadem, featured on the 2 covers of British Vogue's April 2022 issue. The first was the 1957 portrait of the Queen wearing the crown, estimated to be around $12 million, and the second captured Anna Taylor-Joy wearing a replica. According to Vanity Fair, her jewelry collection is called the Windsor Collection and has been passed down for generations. Her most famous jewels include the sovereign scepter and orb used for her coronation. She also owned the Russian Kokoshnik tiara, Queen Mother's leaf brooch, Queen Victoria's diamond stud earrings, and 8 racehorses. The Queen has had a fascination for horses from an early age since she was gifted a pony on her 4th birthday by King George V. After becoming the Queen, she inherited the royal stud of Sandringham from her father, as reported by BBC. The Queen had taken a personal interest while preparing the horses for racing and earned roughly $9 million each year through the tournaments. When the Queen wasn't cruising in a bottle green luxurious Jaguar, she was with her horses. Her Majesty spent most of her mornings during lockdown in 2020 riding her beloved personal pony at Windsor Castle, Emma, and was even spotted riding Emma while awaiting the welcoming of Duchess of Cambridge Catherine and Prince William's baby boy, Prince George, into the world. Emma was named after the stud near Leeds where she was bred, and the routine reportedly gave the Queen a sense of both freedom and normality. Queen Elizabeth's first renowned champion came in the form of Carosa, who stormed to victory at the Epsom Oaks in 1957. Just a year later, Pall Mall became the Queen's next big victor, winning the 2000 Guinness. Dunfermline and Highclere were 2 more champions the Queen got to enjoy the success of, but the Queen's most famous horse is Estimate, which roared home to win the Ascot Gold Cup in 2013. Number 7, car collection. The Queen made her presence known even by the vehicles she drove to reach various events and appointments. It started in 1944 when she joined the war effort as an 18-year-old princess. Second Subaltern Elizabeth Windsor was part of the Women's Auxiliary Territorial Service, where she was given a set of baggy overalls and trained in London as a mechanic and military truck driver. She spent most of her time at Sandringham House, an elegantly sprawling pile of 8,100 hectares in Norfolk. It's here that her collection of cars was kept. The Queen's State Fleet, which comprises 3 Rolls-Royces, 3 Daimlers, and 2 Bentleys, is kept at Buck House, alongside a few Volkswagen sports cars. She also drove an Austin K2Y during her service in World War II and later switched to Land Rover Defenders. Her favorite truck had been the 2002 Defender 110 TD5, and the 2022 iteration was gifted to her during her Platinum Jubilee. Other notable cars of hers include Aston Martin and Vauxhall. Number 6, real estate. Like most British families, the royal family has its time-honored Christmas traditions. The holidays are usually spent at Queen Elizabeth's country estate, Sandringham. There, before and after a hearty Christmas dinner, it is said dinner guests are invited to step onto a set of scales to assess their weight gain, a scene recreated in the 2021 movie Spencer, which imagines events at royal Christmases at Sandringham in the early 1990s. Unlike most British families, the royals with 19,000 acres of grounds at Sandringham to explore won't have to worry about getting a break from their relatives during the holidays. And Sandringham is only the tip of the royal property portfolio iceberg, which includes castles, palaces, country houses, townhouses, city apartments, cottages, and farmhouses, with all the properties worth around $28 billion. The former monarch's real estate portfolio has always reigned her most expensive possession. Buckingham Palace is valued at $7 billion alone, while Kensington Palace and Windsor Castle cost $630 million and $326 million. The land of the Duchy of Lancaster is a popular tourist spot and makes $24 million yearly in profits. Halfway at number 5, art collection. The Queen's Gallery at Buckingham Palace is filled with priceless art, which makes it the largest privately privately owned collection. The Queen's art consists of 7,000 paintings, 500,000 prints, and 30,000 drawings from some of the world's most famous and brilliant artists. She has over 50 paintings by Canaletto, a handful of beautiful Rembrandts, and more than 30 drawings by Mona Lisa and Leonardo da Vinci. The collection was started by King Charles I back in the 17th century. Before his passing in 1649, King Charles I had managed to assemble the most spectacular art collection that any monarch has ever gathered. The Queen has had a hand in some of the most recent additions to her collection, including some more contemporary works from the likes of Andy Warhol and Sir Anish Kapoor, and in total it's worth around $10 billion. Number 4. All the dolphins in the United Kingdom. Much like the swans, the Queen's got a solid claim on many of the country's aquatic creatures. A statute from 1324, which originated during the reign of King Edward II, stated that the king shall have wreck of the sea throughout the realm, whales and sturgeons taken in the sea or elsewhere within the realm, except in certain places privileged by the king. The law still stands today and covers not just whales and sturgeons, but dolphins and porpoises too, when they are captured within 3 miles of the UK. Until recently, the Crown also laid claim to the bulk of Scotland's wild circumstances. Safe to say it's pretty odd to own dolphins in general, but it's said that if they were sold, they would cost around $800,000 each. Number 3. Queen Victoria's wedding dress. This gown was worn by Queen Victoria of England at her wedding to Prince Albert in the year 1840. It garnered a great deal of press attention at the time, as the royal wedding was highly publicized. The structured 8-piece dress features a wide open neckline. The off-the-shoulder sleeves are short and puffed. The pointed waistline is a deep V shape resembling the Basque shape, and both the neckline and sleeves are trimmed with lace. The floor-length skirt was very full, containing 7 widths of fabric and forward-facing pleats. At her wedding ceremony, Victoria wore a satin train over 6 yards long, which 12 attendants carried down the aisle. A priceless outfit that forever set the trend of wearing white wedding dresses, Queen Victoria's wedding dress remains preserved in the Royal Museum. Before she wore the white wedding dress, women preferred to wear wedding dresses in bright colors, but she began the trend that has been followed around the world. And as it is an important part of history, the Queen wanted to purchase it to make sure it stayed safe. And the dress cost around $3.6 million. Number 2. Wimbledon's Royal Box. As the name suggests, the Royal Box on the center court at Wimbledon is the best place to enjoy a game of tennis. The 74-seater box was built in 1992 and has been an entertainment spot for friends and guests, including the members of the royal family, political figures, and commercial partners who are allowed to sit on an invitation-only basis. The price of the tickets is not stated because, as I mentioned, it is invite-only, but it's estimated that they could probably cost around $700 per ticket. Coming in at number 1, Faberge eggs. The 300 exquisite objects represent just half of Queen Elizabeth's Faberge collection, which has been kept in the family for more than 100 years, as most pieces were exchanged as gifts between the interrelated members of the royal houses of Britain, Denmark, and Russia. The pieces are striking in their variety, intricacy, and beauty, and chart the story of not only Faberge's rise to wealth and prominence through the patronage of Europe's imperial families, but also the idle and indulgent lives led by the people who ruled the Western world. Queen Elizabeth's Faberge collection has more than 600 pieces, and it dates back to when Gustave Faberge designed jewel-encrusted eggs that caught the eye of Danish Princess Alexandra and Dagmar. Many royals, including King Edward VII and George V, had commissioned intricate pieces. Her Majesty owned precious eggs in different designs displayed for the British public in 2003, and the estimated price of them is around $15 million.
Coming in at number 10, we have Liechtenstein. The Liechtensteinian royals have a net worth of $4.4 billion and have 600 years of history. Liechtenstein's royal family is one of the wealthiest in all of Europe and has 122 living members. The prince of the family has a statue collection, and the family themselves have a huge collection of over 1,500 famous pictures, 250 paintings, and statues, all smuggled from Germany in WW2. The Austrian government argued that the Liechtenstein pictures were listed and had been illegally exported. It therefore demanded that they be returned. Franz Joseph II never accepted the listing, pointing out that in the 1930s the works had been dispersed over dozens of palaces in several countries. It therefore did not represent a collection, which had to be in a single location. The collection is now the second largest in all of Europe, just below the collection of the United Kingdom. At number 9, we have the Alawite dynasty of Morocco, founded in 1631 but originated in the 13th century. This royal family has a net worth of $8.2 billion and is made of only 19 members. On top of owning billions of dollars worth of assets, the Moroccan royal family has one of the world's longest civil lists, which is the line of royals who are paid money by the government for their service to the state. It is led by King Mohammed VI, who took the throne in 1993, and next in line is the 18-year-old Moulay Hassan. It was reported in 2018 that the young crown prince had been gifted a private jet to travel the world, and that he hoped to study aviation after his schooling. However, Morocco called this report fake news. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section below. At number 8, there's the House of Maktoum from Dubai. The royal dynasty has just 12 primary members and over hundreds of extended family members. Altogether, the wealth of this family has been estimated to be $18 billion. The prince of the family, Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, yes, all of that is his name, owns the world's most expensive camel, a collection of amphibious cars, which is a funny choice considering Dubai has no permanent rivers or lakes. He also bought an entire fleet of airplanes, 40 of them to be exact, and a nice few supercars, which include the Lamborghini Veneno Roadster, the McLaren P1, a Ferrari LaFerrari, an Aston Martin 177, and a Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport Vitesse. At number 7, there's the House of Bolkiah from Brunei. An estimated $28 billion belongs to the family, much of which comes from the huge amount of oil found in their country. Sultan Hassan al Bolkiah lives in the Astana Nurul Iman Palace, which holds the Guinness World Record for the world's largest residential palace, with a total area of 2.2 million square feet. It costs an insane $1.4 billion to build back in 1984. The head of the Bolkiah family is also rumored to own 7,000 supercars, including 600 Rolls Royces and 300 Ferraris, as well as several private jets. Here's number 6, the Chakri dynasty of Thailand. Estimated at $60 billion this time, more than doubling our last entry. The number isn't totally exact, as there is a law against disclosing the wealth of the family in detail. With 22 people making up the Thailand dynasty, they've been through a few protests for reforms of the monarch. The protests were neutralized, however, by loyalists and devotees counter-protesting. All of the wealth from the Chakri dynasty has been signed off to the king, Maha Vajiralongkorn, in 2018. His assets, which can be spent at the king's pleasure, include enormous areas of valuable real estate in central Bangkok, large stakes in several key Thai companies, and shares in luxury hotel group Kempinski. At number 5, we have one of the most well-known royal families, the British royal family. The family is home to more than a few members and a fair share of controversy as one of the most publicized royal families. Their estimated net worth in 2021 was up to $88 billion. When then Prince Harry and Meghan Markle decided to be financially independent from the family, the public were very confused, as most of Harry's net worth came straight from his inheritance. Unsurprisingly, the Queen herself held the most of the wealth, valued at around $428.3 million. Part of that comes from profits generated from the Crown Estate, known as the Sovereign Grant, and income from real estate such as Balmoral Castle in Scotland and Sandringham House in Norfolk, England. Here's number 4, the House of Nahyan, hailing from Abu Dhabi. This house actually descends from the same tribe as the House of Maktoum in Dubai. The number of male members in the family is 200. However, for some secretive reason, the number of female members is kept a tight secret. Just like many royal families in the Middle East, the House of Nahyan derives its $150 billion from the oil found within its country, Abu Dhabi. The king of this clan is actually one of the wealthiest landlords in London, as he owns an entire empire there valued at $7.1 billion in England's capital. At the 3rd spot, there's Qatar's royal family, the House of Thani. The current ruler is 40 years old and is actually the youngest sovereign in the world currently. The family's members reach into the thousands, ranging from 7,000 to 8,000 members. This family has got $335 billion in the safe, but this has apparently put a target on their heads. 28 members of a royal hunting party were kidnapped in Iraq in 2015. And a ransom of $1 billion was paid for their release in 2017. The Qatar's fund's assets include London's Shard skyscraper, the UK capital's Olympic Village and Harrods department store, as well as substantial stakes in New York's Empire State Building and famous firms including Volkswagen, Barclays, and British Airways. In the 2nd spot, there's Kuwait's royals belonging to the El Sabah family. They are worth up to $360 billion and 1,000 members. Much of the wealth is thought to be tied up in US stocks and shares, which have skyrocketed in value over the years, with the conservative value of all of their stocks being priced at $360 billion. In reality, it could be much larger. The family is reported to have huge stocks in major blue chip companies in the US. Finally, at number 1, we have the Saudi Arabian royal family, the House of SAUD. This extremely wealthy group of around 15,000 royals have an estimated more than $1.4 trillion shared amongst them. That's enough money to completely pay off Canada's federal debt. Per person, that's almost $100 million, which is insane, considering the average Saudi Arabian family makes around $2,666 a month. The current King Salman has held the title since only 2015, and most of the power over the country and wealth belongs to the monarch and his relatives. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, who was arrested by the Saudi government in 2017 on corruption charges, is the second wealthiest individual member of the family with an estimated net worth of $13.4 billion. At number 10, we have the aptly named revenge dress. Camilla has bought many items to replicate Princess Diana's own dresses. After Prince Charles had broken up with Princess Diana and had gotten with Camilla, Princess Diana wore a dress with bare shoulders to an outing, as it would have been previously not allowed when she was still a member of the royal family. Shortly after, Camilla wore a very similar dress to a different outing. This has been dubbed the revenge dress. At number 9, there's the infamous monochromatic baby pink outfit. Princess Diana was famous for her boldness in fashion and colors. She was so good at combining them that they soon would become a trend. Camilla knew how good Diane looked and decided to try it out many years later. Camilla wasn't really ever that into bright, flashy outfits, but as soon as she saw Diana try something, she was on it like a moth to light. And number 8, the hats. Camilla was never really into hats, but she quickly changed her mind after seeing Diana with a large collection of her own hats that match every outfit perfectly. Camilla hopped on the wave and began her own collection of hats that she doesn't even like wearing. Diana wore all sorts of brands from Versace to Gucci, and Camilla is now following in her footsteps by adorning multiple brand name hats. At number 7, there's the navy blue dress combined with sapphire earrings. Diana wore this piece when she was no longer a member of the royal family. She wore this navy blue lingerie combined with a luscious pearl and sapphire necklace. Camilla Parker chose the same shade and a very similar set of pearl and sapphire necklaces. Jewelry is somewhat of a sacred thing in the royal family, and whenever you wear something that has some sort of significance to another member, it can be extremely disrespectful. At number 6, we have the polka dot dress paired with a white blazer. The thing about this dress blazer combination is that it feels so deliberate. Diana originally wore this outfit to the Epsom Derby in 1986, and years later, Camilla wore a very similar outfit to an engagement. Camilla really can't get enough of polka dots since the first appearance, and has since worn many styles with polka dots in them.
What can you tell me about the polka dots? This has definitely been her season of polka dots, hasn't it?
Yes, I think she's cornered a market here. I don't know who makes them, but they're doing very well.
At number 5, her killer casual day off fit, which included jeans, a navy blazer, and a white blouse. Diana first showed this outfit years ago and Camilla brought it back recently. The original outfit was designed for a casual yet professional look when Princess Diana wasn't actively in an engagement, and Camilla seems to have taken that idea completely for herself, wearing it once again during a casual day. At number 4, there's Diana's slight obsession with long coats. Princess Diana had the iconic look of long coats during colder seasons and freezing country engagements. Camilla once again stole this look when she wasn't really into them before. On her engagements where Camilla wears a long coat and a hat, she's wearing something she doesn't even like just for the sake of copying the previous princess. At number 3, pearls are Camilla's best friend. Princess Diana often wore luxurious pearl necklaces to fancy ceremonies and outings. Camilla has copied many custom designs that Princess Diana has adorned and affixed them onto herself. The pearls that Diana wears are ornate and white with silver attachments. Camilla has also been seen wearing very similar designs. At number 2, another iconic look featuring a coat this time. One of Princess Diana's favorite looks was her beige coat and a crisp white shirt underneath. Camilla won't even leave Diana's favorites alone, as she wore almost the exact same overcoat and shirt combinations to many engagements and outings last winter. At number 1, we have King Charles himself. The now King of the United Kingdom, Charles, was actually married to Princess Diana before Camilla. Camilla even came to their wedding and said that she was an old friend of Charles. It came out in 1994 from Charles himself that he was having an affair with Camilla, and it took years for the Queen to accept her into the royal family. Diana was seen crying in an infamous photo of Charles heading onto his aircraft because the first person he saw when he landed back in the UK was Camilla. Those were the top 10 purchases Camilla made to copy Princess Diana. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.